Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fit for Purpose pod. My name is Jacob, and this is my friend Brandon Fuller.
Man, on today's episode, we are diving into strength training. Jacob and I firmly believe that strength training should be the cornerstone staple of your fitness program. So listen to this episode to find out why.
Yeah, check it out.
Let's go. The more you do it, the more you're consistent about it, the more you're not chasing perfection, but you're just chasing, again, consistency, the more over time it will become a part of who you are. And those decisions and those things become so much easier.
And yeah, focusing on one thing at a time, you can actually move the needle in that area, like we spoke about earlier, before jumping into the next thing, right? Because otherwise you're just spinning your wheels and you're never really making a lot of progress in one specific area.
No matter where you're at in your fitness journey, like strength training is for you, and there's always a way that you can adapt the plan to meet your needs. This is a fancy water you got here.
I would argue that it's just good water.
Just good water.
It's just real water, not fancy water.
Where are you getting this?
At the G store.
The G store?
The grocery.
So thrown off, dude.
The grocery?
Yeah, that place.
Well, I got snagged this one from Fox Fitness.
Yes.
It was in the fridge.
Fox Fitness. Give them a follow.
Shout out. But yeah, I keep these stocked in the refrigerator at the gym.
And then are you refilling this?
Yeah, I'll typically refill it. Well, I don't typically grab a spring water. I just didn't have any sort of beverage carrying device.
Yes.
Like your nice cup over there.
Oh, yes.
I didn't have a cup on me.
The Hydro.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a real Hydro?
This is the essential for all Gilbert moms.
No, dude, it's the Stanley.
Don't sleep on it, though.
It's the I mean, if you're talking about Gilbert moms, I'm just saying
the Stanley.
It's the Stanley.
But this
for
one
sure.
is cheaper, and the straw function is better because you could tip this thing up. I will just do an advertisement here. It's not spilling.
It's like a sippy cup.
Stanley is spilling. Yeah,
it's like a sippy cup for your kid. It's like you can't spill it.
It's an adult sippy cup.
Exactly.
I'm a child. I need something that's gonna.
Look, I can't spill it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my old thing.
I usually just go for filtered water and throw some salt or minerals or electrolytes in there, but also high quality spring water is money. It's just expensive to drink. If you were gonna only consume spring water in glass bottles,
You'd be in debt.
Yeah, you'd be dropping at least $1,000 a month.
You're trying to like pull from your 401k to like
yeah, exactly.
fund your water habits.
Liquidating my investments.
Yeah, literally.
Liquidating.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Didn't mean. I totally meant to say that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm so bad about my water intake when I don't have something that I'm carrying.
It has to like be a burden.
Yeah, like we have quite a few of these kind of like jugs, Stanleys, whatever, around the house. And as soon as we kind of like go through them, or like my wife and I's like biggest flaws is we'll like leave them in the car for a couple of days, you know, and it's like, well, then I'm not going to drink out of it. So it's kind of like when all of them hit that spot or whatever it is, I'm like, I have not drinking water and it's like 2 p.m. Like, what the hell is wrong with me?
It's like back in the day when you'd have your protein shake just mixed in like skim milk.
Oh yeah.
And you'd like drink it but then not rinse it and leave it in your car
the funk, dude.
For 5 days.
That's when you're like, I'm just throwing that away.
Yeah.
This has no use to me.
This shaker cup is going in the trash.
That's one of the most vile smells.
Yeah.
Like, do not leave your protein in the car, especially here in Arizona.
Yeah.
That thing's going to get stinky.
Yeah, I used to do that in high school. I would drink a protein shake on the way to school as my breakfast, and then I would just...
You leave it in the car.
I would just leave it in the car.
I'm not going to bring this into school.
Yeah, and then by the time like 3 p.m. rolls around and it's 100 degrees in Arizona, it's just cooked. Yeah.
R.I.P., dude. You got to keep those things on hand.
Game over.
Just get the next one. Maybe that's the next business endeavor, is we just like a subscription base for your shaker cups.
You get one for every day of the week.
Yeah. Someone's like, why do I have 40 shaker cups?
You're supposed to throw them. Just throw them away.
Have you ever seen those, like, as seen on TV ads, where it's like Tupperware or something that they're like pulling out of the cabinet, and they like open up the cabinet and it's like just like a waterfall of Tupperware, and it's some old lady just like blah, like just getting wrecked.
I haven't seen that, but
so we'll do that. We'll make that commercial,
with shaker bottles,
but with shaker bottles.
Perfect.
Dude, we got something here.
I don't think so. I don't know if this is gonna work out.
I don't know if this is gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's new, man?
Not a lot. Just out here.
Yeah.
Just trying to do it.
We're trying to do it.
Trying to stay on top
it's
of.
It's getting warmer here.
It is getting warmer out. I mean, I think it's gonna cool back down before.
Thank God.
Before it spikes into the hundreds, but yeah, just trying to stay on top of training and coaching and you know, staying dialed in.
Dude,
trying not to be distracted.
It's a grind.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
Yeah, it's really easy to get like kind of comfortable. You know what I mean? Like you can get in a groove, and then you get kind of comfy, and it's like, hold up.
Yeah, that's one thing that I find I find it. I have to continue to challenge myself to show up for my own workouts.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, especially equally, both of us we're working out in the same space as we work, and that can be a challenge for sure. Mm-hmm. Like for me, I mean, that's why I go hang out with you guys, is the camaraderie of just like getting outside of my four walls that I've been stuck in all week, and then I get to go like hang with the homies, and it's such a good change of pace. Yeah,
it's a good hang on Fridays when you come in and lift, and sometimes our other friend Spencer's there, and it's awesome. Yeah, I for myself, I have to be on a program that I've premeditated and mapped out. That I find that to be extremely helpful.
Yeah,
for me personally and I think this is, I mean, for anyone who's trying to make progress in the gym, but as a coach, sometimes you can fall off of that because you're like, oh, I just kind of know what to do.
Yeah,
or if you've been lifting for a long time and you're kind of you're going to the gym and you're like, oh, I'm doing legs today, or I'm doing upper body today. Like, if you don't have a premeditated plan that's mapped out with proper progressions and loading of sets and reps, and or using an RPE scale, like rate of perceived exertion, where you're kind of scaling your efforts across the month or across a couple months, you could still go into the gym and work hard, but you're not going to make progress as quickly.
Yeah.
Right. It's like what gets measured gets improved. So if you're measuring your workouts and you're writing down what weights you did, and you have a prescription and it's mapped out, and my pulling movements are balanced with my pushing movements and volume, so you're going to keep your shoulders healthier. Like, if you can premeditate out so much more effectively for a program than if you just kind of show up and wing it. But if you've been lifting for a while, sometimes you think you can do that. Yeah, and it'll be sufficient.
I get in the habit sometimes of just like wanting to just change it up, or like, oh, let me try this new thing, or let me, and I'll cycle through, I'll kind of like fall out of that true progression because I'm just like trying a bunch of new stuff. And if you're kind of, you're just like doing a bunch of randomized work, you're not potentially moving the bar forward, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to move the needle on a specific area, you got to program for that and commit to it for 4, 8, 12 weeks to see progress in that area.
Yeah.
And then you can shift focus. And that's, I think, the quickest way to actually make progress towards a goal is making sure that you're, periodizing your workouts for that.
Absolutely.
So,
well, and especially like in the context of what you're saying, like your job is literally programming is fitness for other people. So it's that, like, man, if you have something in the back pocket ready to go for when it's your time, the less thinking you have to do, the better, because then it's like, okay, I know I got to get the work done and check it off the list, and then we're good to go. Yeah,
that's huge, is not having to think about what I'm going to do as I'm going into it. If it's premeditated, like I'm much harder, even as someone who's been lifting for a while, and you've gone through hard workouts, you understand what a 10 out of 10 effort really feels like. You understand what a 3 rep max feels like.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like to push yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Even as someone who's been doing that for a while and understands that, I will be much harder on myself when I'm sitting at my desk programming than I will when I'm in the moment trying to think of a workout and I'm a little tired because I've been working all morning. So it's like if I'm thinking ahead, I'm like, oh, screw future Jacob, you're gonna have to get this done. I'm sitting at my desk and but it's not really real yet. And then you're in the moment and you're okay. Oh shit, I got to do 8 sets of
because we're no different than any other. Just because this is our profession, it's not like we don't have the capacity to not push ourselves as hard as we want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think for anybody, like having that plan, like with Crown Performance, I talk about having a plan and having a purpose because it gives you just that. It's like I have a purpose because I have something that I am doing. It is segmented, it is scheduled, it is non-negotiable. Like you said, I'm going to make it more challenging here so that in the moment I can't fail myself, and it's going to give me purpose to better myself as I go forward. So we're no different than the average individual going to the gym. Is like we will make it easy on ourselves if we can, because it's like, last thing I want to do is like get in there and grind sometimes, because it's you've been in the same space all week, and it can get tired. Early mornings, like you name it. So
and for anyone who's got a family or a family and a full-time job and is just dealing with the normal stressors of life.
Yes.
If you have a plan going into it that you can just like get done, you can just focus on, okay, this is what I'm going to execute and be disciplined about that, then you can make progress toward a goal. Yeah. But you can't rely on motivation all the time, even if you're someone who's a seasoned lifter, you've been in the gym for a long time. But if you're someone new to training, then above all, like you need to have a structure for what you're doing and how you're spending your time.
Absolutely.
So you can avoid injuries, so you can make progress, not waste your time in the gym. It's huge.
Yeah, you want like effective and efficient workouts.
Yeah.
And I love that you said that, because motivation is fleeting. Like it is not there all the time. And if you're going to sit around and wait around for motivation to come to go get to the gym and do your thing, you're going to get one workout every couple weeks. Like, for me, like a good example of that, is like as a parent, like I've got 2 kids. Like last night was a great example. My kid woke up like 5 times last night, like at incremental periods, and getting no sleep. You wake up in the morning, like, there's moments where like you don't want to be a parent. Like it's not fun, it's not exciting. I'm not motivated. I'm not like popping out of bed and like, here we go, I can't wait. Like I am obligated to be my kid's dad. Like I'm going to show up for them. I love them to death. I'm going to do everything I can to like serve that position and be there for them. But again, like I'm not waking up every day motivated to like pop out of bed and be there. Exercise the same way, like, and like have a plan and be present and go crush the thing, because that is what you're obligated to do, rather than wait for those moments where you're like, oh man, the sun is out and I got good rest and I ate some good food and now I'm going to go work out because it's going to put the icing on the cake. Because dude, I have those like once every 2 months maybe. Like the more I train and I'm in the gym and I'm programming for other people, like those are far and few at this point. Like, so yeah, I love that you're talking about this, because it makes all the difference in being consistent, because that is the game. It's not perfection. It's not like living the moment. It's being consistent with the work that's put in front of you, that will truly get you to that next spot.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of delayed gratification and consistency and discipline over time, and you're moving toward something. And we've talked about this before, but that's why I love fitness. I love the pursuit of fitness and of being a healthy person, because it's a microcosm for life. And there's so many lessons to be learned and so many tools to kind of unlock and, apply to your pursuit of getting more fit, getting stronger, getting leaner, getting healthier, being more disciplined with how you take care of yourself, and how all those things that you have to do to have success in that pursuit can be related to the rest of your life, like being a father.
Yeah.
You can learn how to delay a little bit of gratification, be consistent and be disciplined and have a plan, then you can apply those skills to so many things in your life, and you're gonna reap the benefits in all areas of your life as you become just a more capable person of
Absolutely
setting a goal and moving toward it.
Yeah, it's like it's that ripple effect too. I talk a lot about this with my clients because, you know, as we get started, I think everybody, you know, if they have these big ambitious goals as they get started, they're like, okay, I want to dial in nutrition. I want to dial in my workouts. I want to make sure everything is like pushing me towards where I want to go. And in more cases than not, it's almost best if you can zone in on like one thing at a time and like nail that one thing, because that ripple effect will happen where it will impede on other habits, other behaviors where, you know, if I do exercise and I do that consistently over time, and then it becomes that second nature where I can be consistent about it, attack the plan, not the feeling, then eventually it's like, okay, well, I'm working out. Now I want to like eat a little better because now I want that to pay greater dividends. And well, now I'm eating a little better. Well, now I know I got to train hard the next day. So now I want to like go to bed early. And it's like you find that like one habit will impede on the next. And then eventually it's like, oh, okay, my lifestyle is adapting. And yeah, it immerses itself, like you said, into like everyday life versus now just this thing over here that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And again, that ties back into the idea of purpose. Like, okay, why am I pursuing this in the first place? Because it would be easier to just chill or not have a plan or not be moving towards anything.
Sure.
Right? It would be more comfortable in the moment. But when we have purpose, or we have a why, we have a mission, we have something we're trying to accomplish, or a reason for showing up in this world versus just staying in bed all day.
Yeah.
Then all those things start to be anchored to your why and the direction you're choosing to move in. And then, you know, that's just, for me, that's a technique to like keep out existential crisis, you know, like,
sure.
What is happening here? What am I doing here again? I'm a human being in
Stay
this.
sane, like
I'm in this body on this planet. There's like other people like moving around. It's just when you like really think about it.
Yeah,
shit's kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you can anchor,
yes.
right, whether that's, you know, purpose and in a bigger picture, like in a more spiritual or religious mindset of the afterlife and how your life affects everyone around you. And, you know, if you can anchor to some of those things, then we have a reason to show up in a positive way. And then we can start kind of picking out what, you know, what that looks like. How do we show up in a positive way? And I think fitness is a huge part of that.
Absolutely. And those aren't habits that like will forever feel so far away. Like, like we're talking about, like it gets embedded in your DNA. Like it's a part of your nature to like wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to go crush a workout, or I'm going to choose some healthy foods, or I'm going to get better rest, or I'm going to treat people with kindness. Like it's just like in line with your character, your attributes, like, so it becomes easier over time. The more you do it, the more you're consistent about it, the more you're not chasing perfection, but you're just chasing, again, consistency, the more over time it will become a part of who you are. And those decisions and those things become so much easier to accomplish. Like,
yeah, it's hard at first, but then you start to embody it, and it becomes, like you said, a part of you. And I love that you just said it's a part of your nature.
Yeah.
Because I think there is something there where we naturally want to feel good.
Absolutely.
And be healthy.
Yeah.
We just have all these distractions in the way of like quick fixes.
Yep.
Or quick hits of dopamine, or quick feelings of pleasure, whether it's like a bite of something sweet or scrolling Instagram. We have access to quick pleasure, but that's like it's a proxy. It's it's a fugazi. It's not real.
Yeah.
Right. You eventually realize, okay, this is extremely fleeting.
Yeah.
And then you can start to like really hone into your deeper desire, because if we talk about getting up and going to work out and eating a healthy meal, some people might be like, wow, that sounds like a great morning. Some people might be like, oh, that sounds like no fun at all. I can't have my pancakes in the morning and sleep in. Let's, your mindset shifts when you can start to tap into how things actually make you feel on a deeper level. And then you can start to attune to your actual desires.
Yeah.
Like it's a superficial desire to like want to scroll Instagram.
Totally.
Because deep down, that's not what you don't actually want to get to the end of an hour of doom scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
You never feel good at the end of an hour of doom scrolling. Your deeper desire would be to feel good at the end of a challenging workout.
Yeah, you're like a dog chasing your tail. Like you're never gonna fully scratch that itch, but like if you did something more productive that actually like led you to become a better person in some way, whether that's journaling or exercising or getting outside in the sunshine, like playing with your kids, like those things are so much more fulfilling on a deeper level, like you're saying, than some of those like, superficial, instantaneous things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that you're talking about that, like your desire changes. Like I think the people that are like, oh, I would never want to do that. Oh, it's because there's never been a practice of doing that. Like, and listen, you don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be your hobby, but I would say for those that have engaged with physical activity, with like quality nutrition, all these habits that we're talking about, like for those that have engaged with it for some time, have recognized like, this feels really good when I do this, so I'm going to keep doing this. And I think the people that are anti those habits or like want to fight the current, like they haven't practiced that. So they've yet to experience like that benefit.
Yeah.
I
mean, you work out and, change your nutrition for like 30 days and you see changes in your body and you see changes in your energy levels and you're like,
feels
holy
amazing.
Shit. Yeah. I have control. I have some autonomy over what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because at least in my experience, when I was young and I was overweight and I was unathletic, I felt really insecure.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, shit, man, like I was just dealt, this is just what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But then you realize, I actually have autonomy. I can make a difference in how I feel. I can make a difference in how I look. And that's super empowering.
Yeah. Yeah. When my wife and I like first got married, so like for me, like I grew up like playing sports, athletic, doing all the things. And I was always like the skinny kid that could just like consume because I wanted to like pack on size. Well, that kind of catches up to you. So like my first year into marriage, I started just like packing on pounds, and in the back of your head, you're like, oh, I'm athletic, I'm strong. Like,
dad bod.
Eventually I'll get consistent. Yeah. And I definitely hit that spot. I was like, I remember vividly, like we went to do a health insurance check-in, basically, where they do a scan of your body fat and your height and your weight, all these different measurements to kind of gauge where you're at from a necessity of,
are you gonna die soon?
Yeah, basically. That's what that is. And it was such a reality check because I was like the heaviest I'd ever been. My body fat percentage was the highest it ever was. And I remember like getting back in the car and I was just like, dude, fuck this. Like just that feeling, I was like, I felt awful. It was like that, like, for me, it felt like that bottom, feeling. And I was like, we got to make a change. And I started looking into it. And it literally started with, my wife and I like went to a group fitness class. They were doing this, like, this is not for everybody. And, this is not a long-term solution I found later on, but like, they were doing like a detox, like diet. And it was this competition where it was like first to lose X amount of weight, like wins this prize. And I was like, dude, let's go full send. I told my wife, I was like, I don't care what this costs. Like, I'm going to go do it. And, lost like all of the weight to the point where I was like, okay, now I need to like get stronger and go that route. But that was a moment for me where it was like, this feels so much better to be this person than this person.
Yeah.
And why did I freaking wait so long to get there? So yeah, I think everybody has that moment where it'll eventually click for them. But once you get that taste of how good it feels to be on the other side and like the way you look and like the way you feel and like the habits that are becoming, again, a part of your nature, a part of your DNA, like there's no better feeling. So,
yeah, man. True that. And again, that's just tapping into a deeper layer of what your actual desire is. Because I'm sure there were moments in your journey of losing that, initial weight and having that initial kind of life change for yourself where you had moments of feeling like you wanted to go back to old patterns.
Yeah.
Or eat something you shouldn't.
Absolutely.
But ultimately you could connect to the fact that your deeper desire was to forego that so that you could see an outcome later in the future.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that, again, that's a skill that we have to learn that we can apply to other parts of our life too.
Yeah.
Right.
And you get to this point where it becomes intuitive in some way, like you practice those habits. And again, kind of going back to it becomes easier. It is that there's that barrier to entry that it takes whatever it takes to get in. But once you recognize like, okay, I can do this, that snowball starts rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
And it becomes easier to make better decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you start to integrate certain things, right? I think as far as foregoing, short-term pleasure or desires for better long-term outcomes, I think that doesn't necessarily get easier because there's always that like temptation, like there's always that short-term kind of desire, or something that's more of a fleeting, pleasure in the moment. But I think what does get easier is if you say you are taking that idea of, foregoing short-term pleasure for a better long-term outcome and you're applying it to fitness, you start to create habits in your life that help you do that so you don't have to think so hard about it. Yeah. Right? Then your fitness gets easier.
Yeah.
Right? But when you go to apply that to saving money, right, it kind of gets hard again because you have to you're applying that structure, but then when you're applying it to different parts of your life, you have to relearn you have to create these habits. Yeah. But then over time, as you've integrated and created habits in different areas of your life, then obviously it gets a little bit easier because you're not having to take so much energy to make the decision. The decision's quote unquote already made. And
that's where kind of back to square one, that plan comes in because it takes away the thinking. It prioritizes what you were going to do so that all you got to do is go do the thing and check it off the list when it's done. Because it's the more you can systemize your approach and the less thinking you have to do, or the less emotional, taxing, emotionally taxing that is to go and do, the more likely you're going to go do it. Because if it's shit, well, I gotta drive to the gym, and then once I go to the gym, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Then I gotta go do the thing. Well, now I don't want to look stupid because I don't know what I'm doing. But it's if you can have the plan, then you remove all those things. Yep. And then it's well, shoot, now I'm just gonna trust the process, and then you'll get better at it.
Now you're just listening to your music on the way to the gym instead of having a freaking pretzel brain moment.
Yeah, dude, pretzel brain. So we talk about for us, we prioritize strength training as that thing, that habit that we focus on for our physical fitness. I think that's the cornerstone for you and I. Obviously, for you playing soccer, and there's other things that we enjoy to do that are physically active, but strength training is the cornerstone, essential piece for fitness. And I think some of what we're talking about, I noted it before, but there is that barrier to entry. And I think a lot of people find that it can be really overwhelming. And it's oh man, I'm not ready to quite put my foot in the water because I don't know how to do that thing. So where would you say, you work with a lot of new clients or people that are kind of Gen Pop, what is for you ways that you create a kind of lower standard so that it becomes a easier spot for someone who's new to fitness to enter?
So how do I structure strength training?
Yeah, so you have your workout, right? And that workout you and I would design to meet the needs of kind of everybody under the sun. That's probably the same workout that you're doing, but it's also the same workout that you're going to have Janice, who's brand new to fitness, do. Yeah. But what are some ways that you adapt that workout so that she can accomplish that and you can also get something out of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many
so
many places we could go here.
Yeah, it's a lot.
No, good question. So the first thing I would say is just percentage, either percentage of 1 rep max or reps in reserve or rate of perceived exertion. Using any of those 3 scales as far as intensity goes.
Yeah.
So intensity, despite the term high intensity interval training, high intensity interval training isn't actually high intensity because when you're talking about program variables, intensity refers to the weight that you're using or the percentage of 1 rep max that you're using. So say I can squat 300 pounds for 1 rep. If I'm doing something at, I'm trying to give myself an easy number here, 80% of 1 rep max, then I'd be using 240 pounds to do squats with.
And that's your intensity.
And that's intensity.
Yeah.
So intensity has to do with weight, right? Compared to your ability.
Yes.
So high intensity interval training isn't high intensity.
Actually, like, I love that you phrase it that way because I think in the more common context, that is how it's utilized. It's like doing all of these things and doing them really fast and jacking up your heart rate. Like that's intensity and like go get them kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it can be intense, but it's more of a an adverb than it is like a adjective, I guess. I don't know, but anyways, in programming, when you're looking at program variables, intensity refers to weight or percentage of 1 rep max. High intensity interval training is you're doing like fast sets quickly with rest periods. It's not actually high intensity. It's just like high heart rate, basically. So when we're talking about intensity, I can do 70% of my 1 rep max on squats, and Janice, who's just learning how to do.
This is our fabricated individual.
Yeah. If your name is Janice, I'm sorry.
You're strong. You're capable.
But say she's just learning how to do goblet squats.
Yeah.
We probably don't have a 1 rep max for Janice yet. And that would be silly.
Yeah.
But we can use like a reps in reserve scale, or we can use a rate of perceived exertion scale. I like the rate of perceived exertion because it puts it on the person doing the exercise to like really kind of question and
create
tune
feedback.
in. Yeah, it creates feedback. It's like, okay, how hard was that? I don't know. 1 out of 10, maybe a 7.
Yeah. So
I could do 3 sets of 5 back squats at a rate of perceived exertion of 8 out of 10, and I might end up doing 275 or something. And Janice can do 3 sets of 5 on squats at a rate of perceived exertion of 8, right? So same RPE, same reps and sets, but she's going to be doing like a 30-pound kettlebell. Yeah. Like, oh, that was an 8 for Janice.
Yep.
So we're actually both getting the same stimulus.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy, but she's going to be like, her nervous system is going to be just as fried. Her legs are going to be just as sore as mine are from doing, a lot more weight.
Yeah.
But it just has to do with our individual capabilities.
Yeah. And in that too, you kind of hinted at it, like you're going to adapt the approach. Like she's not going to be doing back squats, which is a advanced version of a squat. Like we're going to find ways to regress that movement so that you can do it and you can walk in that barrier. We talk about barrier of entry. Like you can walk in day 1 and that's something you can do, and you can do it with good form.
Yeah.
And you can do it at that intensity that is right sized for you. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, besides just the intensity, like we just talked about, the variation of the movement, like you were just kind of mentioning, you can pretty much regress or progress any movement to, infinite levels of difficulty or ease based on, where the person is at. As long as you're moving through the same pattern and you're getting a similar engagement of muscle groups, then you're training the same system. You're training the nervous system to go through the same pattern, and you're building strength.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think another important thing to touch on is the term strength just refers to your body's ability to move resistance through a certain pattern.
Yep.
So, strength work could look like slow body weight squats.
Mm-hmm.
Strength work could look like just doing a hang, like a passive hang for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Right? You're strengthening your tissues in your shoulders, your arms, and your hands to be able to handle that load.
Yeah.
So yeah, really just any physical stimulus that you're trying to improve your body's ability to move resistance through a pattern. If you're trying to increase the amount of resistance that you can move, then you're working on strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at a basic level.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we've just done a job in the fitness industry of creating this image of what like fitness has to be. Like if I want to accomplish fitness, I've got to do it like the Orange Theory and the, high intensity. I've got to do it like the slapping the 300 pounds on my back. And until I can do that point, then I'm not going to do it at all. But I think the reality is that like you have to start somewhere. You can't just like sit around in the bullpen just like hoping one day you're going to figure out how to do that thing. It's jumping in at the spot that is right size for you so that eventually, maybe we can get you to that like that higher intensity or that higher threshold of a movement. So I think all that to say, like I kind of pose that question to just encourage the listener, like no matter where you're at in your fitness journey, like strength training is for you. And there's always a way that you can adapt the plan to meet your needs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we wanted to discuss strength training today, but, for you, why is that the variable that you center your training around, like as opposed to cardiovascular fitness or flexibility or something like that? Like what, for you, why do you center your training around that? And why is that important to you as a coach and for your clients?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of different avenues you could go. I think the first would be, I want all of my clients and I want myself to be someone who is capable with what life is going to throw at me for the foreseeable future. So when we talk about strength training, like strength is the one thing that you can look at as to longevity and increased like health and lifespan, because you increase that lean mass tissue through resistance training on your body, and you are creating like a monster to fight disease, to fight, poor nutrition, like you name it. You're making yourself into this bulletproofed individual. So I truly believe that strength training is like the most important thing in the realm of fitness in general.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you're literally making yourself harder to kill.
Yes.
By getting stronger.
Yeah, and I know, that sounds, I buy into those types of terminologies because I just think it's badass to think like I could be someone who's capable to like walk into any room and like, hold my own with whatever's going to come or protect my family or whatever I'm asked to do physically. Like I want to be able to go and do that. But like, and then even as a not so like hard ass, because I think like that's used in like that kind of context a lot, but in a not so hard ass like form of that phrase is like, dude, I don't want to deal with diabetes. I don't want to deal with heart disease. I don't want to have cancers and all these different ailments. So strength training and building muscle and building lean tissue literally prevents you from potentially getting those things.
Yeah. Yeah, when I say harder to kill, I'm not even referring to another human being. I just mean in general, whether it's like you said, disease or diabetes or gaining, excess body fat or cardiovascular disease, like you're harder to kill because you're more resilient, right?
Yeah. More resilient is like the perfect way to say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, when we're talking about strength training, it's not just, I'm trying to make my biceps bigger.
Yeah.
You can make the tendons in your knees stronger. Mm-hmm. You can make the tendons in your shoulders stronger. You can make the tissue that runs up your spine, you can make that stronger and more resilient so that it's less likely that you are going to get injured or have an injury that sets you back or have an injury that potentially puts you in a wheelchair or something. It really does go that deep where it's not just about
looking good
or being able
taking
to
your shirt off at the beach kind of thing. Yeah.
Being able to bench 2 plates or 3 plates just because it's cool. But you can make all of the tissues in your body more resilient to injury. And with that, you also, like you were talking about as far as diabetes and metabolic health, when you have more lean tissue, more lean muscle mass on your body, your metabolism is much higher. So the chances of you putting on excess body fat, the chances of you having issues with your blood sugar and your insulin leading to diabetes, the chances of that go way down as well. So there's benefits outside of just physical,
even bone density, you name it.
Bone density as well.
It's literally like the single best form of preventative medicine that you could do. And it's so much more about your quality of life and your movement quality and all those things. And you do it long enough and you do it hard enough and you practice some of these habits we're talking about, like, sure, like you're also going to look good. Like that's an additive to all of these other things that I just love to encourage people as like, it's not all about, I've been training consistently for probably, let's say 10 years and I'm not like bulky, huge Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm capable. I'm physically active. I'm building up that harder to kill mentality to where I'm not getting some of these things that could potentially come my way. So it's so much more about those benefits than it is about, you're going to look good, feel good, awesome, but you're also going to be this too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we age, the one of the things that drops off the quickest as we get older is just our lean muscle mass.
Yeah.
And when the lean muscle mass starts to drop, you become less resilient. You are unable to like blunt your response to carbohydrate and sugar intake, which leads to other health issues. And then the weaker you get, the less likely you are to engage in challenging physical things.
Yeah.
You're going to stop getting off the couch as much. You're going to stop doing yard work as much. You're going to stop going for walks. You're going to stop being as active because it's harder to be active.
Yep.
Right? If my legs are weak and it's hard for me to stand up off the couch, subconsciously I'm just not going to do it as often.
Yep.
Even if I'm not, even if it's not a conscious decision. So staying strong, maintaining lean muscle mass as you get older is, I think,
freedom.
It's freedom, and it should be first priority as far as fitness goes.
Yes, for sure.
So if you're someone who has 90 minutes a week available to you to work out, which if you're claiming that, I would like to challenge that first of all, but just as a hypothetical,
if
you have 90 minutes a week to train, that 90 minutes is going to be best spent doing resistance training, improving strength and lean muscle mass versus doing yoga or flexibility work or cardiovascular work. The benefit is just so much greater. So prioritize it. Yeah. And if you only have limited time, like that should be.
As you were talking about that, so my wife and I have been watching this show. It's actually really awesome. And it's about these like Alaskan bush people, essentially. It's called Port Protection. And it's about this like village of people that live in this, like literally in the bush in Alaska, like off the random coast, like, and they have to do everything themselves. Like they're like doing carpentry, they're hunting, they're fishing, they're gathering, like foraging, they build their own homes. And there's this one specific character, like as you're kind of explaining all that, like my guy's like 77 and he is doing everything by himself. Like I literally watched an episode where he like killed a deer, cleaned it, put it on his back like a backpack, and he had to like get down to the floor, throw it on his back, squat it up to the top, and hike it out of the woods. And so you talk about someone who's like, and that, it's a TV show, but that's a real individual. Like this man has been active his whole life to the point where now he's able to provide and do all these things and have that freedom as an older individual.
At 77.
That's 77. And, that's a drastic, and we're for most people, we're not out in the bush in Alaska, but like how sick would it be to be 77 and be capable enough to do those things? Because you cared about your physical health and you incorporated strength training to that point.
Yeah, you may not need to do that.
Yeah, of course.
But
again, it's a hyperbole example of like, yeah.
But it would be so much better if you could.
Absolutely.
Than if you couldn't, right? And
yeah.
that dude at 77 is very easily going to live to 87.
Yep.
Versus if he's at 77, you can barely get your ass off the couch.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a funny thing too that I guess I've noticed. I mean, I'm only 31, but like I've noticed in my own the people in my circle, but even like my dad's like 66, and like my dad's fit. My dad keeps himself healthy. My dad's active, and the more you age, the more you see discrepancy between like someone who is physically healthy and active and strong versus people that haven't cared for themselves, because it compounds with interest. Like whatever you're doing or not doing now will only accumulate over time. So it's like you see greater discrepancy between people who are physically active and healthy and people who aren't, which is just a wild concept.
But yeah, it's changing your trajectory.
Yes.
Earlier, right?
Yeah.
So you're on a 2-hour flight across the ocean. If you change your trajectory 1 degree, in 2 hours, you're going to be very, very far from your destination.
Yes.
Right. So then that's what it is. It's like, what's your trajectory? And the further you get into life, the more obvious it is.
Yeah.
Who's been actually, investing in themselves and putting in the work, and and who's just been, distracting themselves, or living out an unfortunate situation. But we all have autonomy to make decisions for ourselves, right? And do what we can. But yeah, man, as far as training goes, we've touched on the fact that strength is the most important piece there, right? Now, just as some general guidelines, if I'm wanting to improve my strength, my resilience, my overall lean body mass, what do I need to know, and where should I start?
Yeah, so we touched on strength training being your buck stop. If all you have is 90 minutes in the week, like prioritize that first and foremost. But what I kind of encourage, like all of my clients, specifically even myself, is like do what you have control over. So if it is 90 minutes a week, if it's 4 sessions a week, do what you have control over and what you can be consistent with. But in a perfect realm, if you could, like what I would suggest is like 3 to 4 strength training sessions a week, focusing on the main movement patterns, which we've talked about in the past, but like your squat, your hinge, bend of the waist, your pushes, your pulls, prioritize those main movement functions as kind of your dominant like workouts within your workouts. So if that's a full body session, if that's a push pull session, but strength training 3 to 4 times a week. And then from there, like you can incorporate cardio for cardiovascular health. If you have the capacity to 1 to 2 times a week, that's awesome. And do that as an additive because it's only going to make you better. And then just move your body more, because I think all that we've seen over the last couple decades of time is that we just move less and less and less. So the more like simple activity, simple movement we can do is like literally walking throughout the day, the better you're going to be. So I think that's kind of my, as far as physical fitness, the main buck stops. If you could strength train 3 to 4 times a week, if you can maybe incorporate cardiovascular 1 to 2 times on top of that, and then literally every single day find time to walk and to move. Like it's literally that easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you can incorporate that, then you've got 90% of it nailed down, right? And I think we should talk too about, there are different types of strength training. There's the style of strength training that approaches strength as a skill, right? Where, this is really popularized by Pavel Tsatsouline, he's a Russian guy who kind of popularized the kettlebell in the United States. His organization and kettlebell certifications are called Strong First. And the reason they're called Strong First is because through their system, they believe, again, that strength is the most important aspect. You should focus on strength first, and other variables, other characteristics like balance and, even flexibility sometimes can be expressions of strength, right? Now, he teaches strength as a skill, and he's huge on having people do sets of 5 reps or less, but with weight that they could do 10 reps with. So say you could do 10 reps with 50 pounds, you just stop at 5, and you take a nice long rest, and you do another 5, and you do that consistently, so that you're practicing the skill of whatever movement it is that you're trying to do. Say you're doing a squat, you're practicing the skill of being very efficient and tight through your squat, and you're never really getting exhausted to where you lose speed or technique or stability, right? Now, you could do that, and over time, you can really slowly but consistently build up your strength, right? The only downside to something like that approach is that you're never really challenging your cardiovascular fitness or challenging your stability or your ability under more quote unquote
fatigue or
exactly under more fatigue. So that's one style of strength training that I think can be really beneficial, especially if your focus really is like trying to get stronger at a specific movement, right? That can teach you how to brace properly and how to create what's called neural drive, where you're actually firing your muscles through the pattern more efficiently and effectively. So you could be getting stronger to movement without actually like putting on a whole lot of lean muscle mass.
Totally.
So that's, one style of strength. Have you incorporated that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a version of that could be simplified to general population could be like creating tempo with your movements, because I think we both are in agreement, like you have to practice movement to get good at it, and that is part of strength training. It is unique movements that you don't do in ordinary life a lot of times, and in order to not have that feeling of anxiety at the gym, you want to be good at what you're doing. So I think tempo is like a really easy way to do that. Or, I mean, that is a great style and example already, but like for a lot of clients, I'll say, hey, give me like 1, 2 to the top, 1, 2 to the bottom. And as you're doing that, I want you to tell me what you feel and like kind of connect your mind with your body, basically, is a really easy way to do that. So, and then with that, there's forms that are a little bit more intense, moving weight quicker. Yes,
and there's also, a style of strength training that is maybe a little bit more metabolic in nature.
I wonder if they'll be able to hear that. Just make it real.
I don't know either. That's a question. That's a good question.
We just had some fire engines run by, so maybe you'll hear them in the episode.
Maybe not. We definitely heard them. But we also have, a strength training that's more like metabolic in nature, where you're doing higher reps and you're doing shorter rest periods, which is also strength work, but tends to be more focused on hypertrophy and building lean muscle mass with some of those higher repetitions and shorter rest ranges or rest periods rather. And in, a style of strength training session like that, you're getting the benefit of the hypertrophy and the strength, but you're also getting some cardiovascular fitness as well, right? Because if let's say you're doing squats, we're talking about squats, sets of 10 or sets of 12, and you're resting 1 minute between sets, your heart rate's going to stay pretty elevated, right? Your heart rate may hit 150 and might only come back down to 120 before you jump into your next set.
I've heard it said before that, if you don't like cardiovascular training, just lift weights faster. So we have like all these different types of modalities of strength training, but I think in some way we need all of them. So it's kind of like you prioritize like moments in your training of maybe putting emphasis on like one thing, because it is really hard to kind of do everything all at once. You might get kind of lost in that way. Emphasis on like maybe for this phase that I'm in, it's maybe 4 to 7 weeks. I'm going to focus on some basics, some foundations, and strength. So it's low repetition. And then like you were saying, like maybe this next phase I'm going to jump into is more hypertrophy. So I want to kind of increase my muscle endurance capacity, and I'm going to kind of take the intensity down from a weight standpoint, because I'm going to have to do more reps I'm going to take less rest time, and my muscles are going to be able to recover as often. So I think we kind of need all things. It's like a big soup. Like in order to have like the best strength training program, you have everything all in one, but you find moments of prioritizing each.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, focusing on one thing at a time, you can actually move the needle in that area, like we spoke about earlier, before jumping into the next thing, right? Because otherwise you're just spinning your wheels and you're never really making a lot of progress in one specific area, right?
Yeah, it's like randomization is not helpful in pushing forward. So,
doing a different, I like that you said that, doing a different workout every time you step in the gym is not the best way to make progress.
Yeah.
Doing something consistently for 4 to 8 to 12 weeks and then reassessing, pulling back and changing your focus, that's a great way to make progress. Because we want to be consistent, but we also do want to switch up our training occasionally because that's how you're going to see good results in a long period of time. Because eventually what you're doing, if you're doing the exact same gym routine for years on end, it stops working.
Yeah.
Right? So focusing for a period of time on one aspect and then switching over and then focusing on that aspect is a really powerful way to make progress without changing up what you're doing every single day of the week or every single time you step in the gym.
Yeah, I think for like a hot minute, like even still in kind of group fitness settings, like that idea of like muscle confusion is like such a hot thing. I think what you're explaining is more what muscle confusion should be about.
Yes.
It's like I'm going to have extended periods of time where I'm getting good at these things. And then so I don't get stalled out, so I can continue to see progress. So I don't get even like mentally fatigued from doing the same things. Now I'm going to adapt it just that little bit so that I continue to kind of push the thing forward.
Yeah. But if you never actually have time to adapt to what you're doing because you're changing in every single workout, then you're not going to make any significant progress toward one goal.
Yeah. And I think you like, again, kind of going back to that group fitness setting, not to like completely knock on it, but a lot of times it is that it's like, hey, we're going to muscle confuse the shit out of you so that you get results. And, a lot of it is like, we're going to bump up your heart rate and increase these repetitions, and you're going to keep going and going and going until you feel like you're going to puke. And like, it's like, we're not going to get the true real results from strength training that we're desiring, because your movements are random and because the intensity is always turned up to 11. So there's like, you have to be able to kind of like pull back the reins to give yourself proper rest periods, to give that actual set quality intensity, to have planned progression, to say, this week I did this, next week I'm going to do this, so that you can see how you are experiencing change. Like, because if you're just jumping in those group settings, like you're going to get stuck in that maintenance mode, and like you're going to spike your cortisol, and like all these other adaptations will happen to where you might not be seeing progress, and you might be actually in some ways kind of hindering your progress. Yeah.
And that's extremely well said. That's, there's some positives to the group fitness, focus or that modality of training. It's obviously better to do that than to do nothing.
Sure.
But like you said, it falls short in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to strength training, which again should be the cornerstone of your fitness practice. Yeah. Right? Not long enough rest periods, changing the movements too often, not being able to take the time to actually focus on set quality and movement quality, and again, progressing over time, like tracking your progress. You don't get to do those things in that setting. And so, you're just not going to see progress with your strength as quickly as you could. And as a result of not focusing on strength and not having that actually be the cornerstone of your fitness routine, you're not going to see results across the board as quickly as you could. Absolutely. Yeah. It's all very applicable, tangible stuff. So, yeah, man. I think it's kind of, for most folks, it's like kind of getting over that hump of that fear of like, it is, again, going back to that barrier of entry point, like it is feasible for anybody under the sun when it comes to our physical health to strength train. And it's just kind of all about adapting these maybe unique things so that it can be specific to what you need and specific to what this person needs.
and continue to kind of push you in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to wrap it up, like, you're spending time in the gym, focusing on your fitness, trying to improve your health. The foundation of that programming, of your workouts, of the time that you spend in the gym should be focused on improving your strength and building lean muscle mass, and doing that through the fundamental movement patterns, which you touched on are squat, hinge, push, pull, and then, gait, sled work or heavy carries, something like that. But improving your strength through those patterns is going to have the biggest carryover to the rest of your fitness and your results.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, dude. Nice.
Cool, man.
Go get strong, people.
Let's go.